quick review, exercise 1 through 10. Section 3.6 in our book has to do with the mathematics of finance, particularly with percentages and changing rate to percentage, percentage to rate, exponential functions. Problem number 1, find 3.5% of 200. Well, percent comes from French, which is pour cent, C-N-T, which means for every 100. And so we're finding if we have 3.5% of every 100, what we're going to do is if we change this 3.5%, we can change this 3.5% to a rate. So rate, we can take the percentage and divide by 100. So in this instance, if we have 3.5 and divide by 100 to get our rate, we're going to get 0.035. And so we can take our percentage and multiply it. So this 3.5% we translate to 0.035, and we just multiply that by 200. Now 3.5% of 100 is going to be 3.5, and so another 3.5% of a second 100 is going to be another 3.5, and adding those two 3.5s together, we'll get 7. So if we just think a little bit, this can be pretty easy to do in our head, but 0.035 in our calculator, if we're too lazy or not feeling sharp enough to do this in our head, we get 7 as our answer. So we box in 7 as our correct answer to problem number 1. Next item of problem is 3. We have what is 1/4 of 7.25? Well, that's simply if we take 1/4 equals, it's the same as dividing by 4, right? It's the same as dividing by 4. So if we take this 7.25% and divide by 4, we would get our answer, which we can do in our calculator. Control division, 7.25 and divide by 4, we get 1.8125%. So 1.8125%, which will be our answer to problem number 3. Next on our problem 5, we have 78% is what percent of 120? I asked one of my teacher colleagues, John, several years ago about, my students have problems with percentages. They seem so easy. But he gave me a little hint, a little diagram, and that is over of equals percent over 100. So let's apply this little formula here. And we have is, in this case is 78, over of, and of is 120, equals percent. So percent is what we do not know, so that's our x, over 100. And so solving for x, if we cross multiply this 120, we get 78 times 100 over 120, which equals 7,800 over 120. We should get our answer, and that's going to be our x, and say we go to our calculator. Okay, for 7,800 divided by 120, we get 65%. And really that number should make a little bit of sense, should be reasonable, because it's like 78 divided by 120 would be about 0.6 or 0.7. So we're going to say, we're going to write this answer 65% up here and box this in as our reasonable answer to problem number 5. Problem number 7, we have 48 is 32% of what number? So again, we can access our is over of equals percent over 100. And to do that in this instance, we have our is 48, And of is our x, right? Of what number? Equals our percentage, which is 32, over 100. And we can flip these fractions to get that x that's sitting in the denominator and the numerator. So we can rewrite this equation with fractions as x over 48 equals 100 over 32. And so, let me write the 8 a little bit. If we cross multiply this 48, we get x equals 48 times 100 over 32, and 48 times 100 is just 4,800. And in our calculator, we're going to take 4,800 and divide by 32, for which we get an answer of 150. So that's going to be our answer to this one, 150. And there are other ways we could do this. We could write this as just a simple linear equation. We could write this as, we could write this as equation as 48 equals, is equals, and we can rewrite 32 as 0.32 times what number? And so x is going to be 48 divided by 0.32, and we would get the same thing. Next on our problem, our last one, which is 9. How much does Jane have at the end of 1 year if she invests $300 at 5% simple interest? Well, again, we're going to take our rate. Our rate equals the percentage divided by 100. So in this case, we have 5% divided by 100. And so, and that's going to be 0.05. And so what we have here is we have our original $300 plus 0.05 times the $300. And if we take a common factor out of here, okay, if we factor it, what is a common factor between 300 plus 0.05 times 300? We can rewrite this expression as 300 as a common factor of 1 plus 0.05. And this is key to this 1 plus 0.05. So we're going to get 300 times 1.05. And we could have gone ahead and left and take this 300, took this 0.05 times the 300, but the formula is using this 1 plus r times the initial amount. And if the thing is for more than a year, if a period bigger year, we put as an exponent, 2 years or whatever, something like that. So let's go over here. 300 times 1.05 times 1.05. Oops. Enter. So we get $315, which we write as our answer. And there are different ways to do these problems. So good luck to you in this section of the book. Very practical. Finances, a big part of everyone's life, whether you want them to be or not. Good luck on these even number problems, the demonstration of learning, and thanks for viewing.